Yes, indeed, it is time for the truth session. Listen, yes, indeed, sitting in the captain's seat for the first part, yours truly, the master teacher. Yes, indeed, the shapeshifter, the code breaker. Listen, I'm telling you now, it's about to go down. Oh man, this blue has been resonating. It has been making a sound. And I'm telling you, this day, when you get done participating in the truth session for the day, I'm telling you, you won't be the same. Yes, the one has been calling for it. It's been raining, it's been raining. The rain has been making a sound, it's been flowing. And so we flowed right here into the truth session. We want to say Shalom Alaikum, Assalamu Alaikum, in Hotep, Abaragani, Amani Kaka, Amani Dada, Bonjour, Hola. And as the one said, Konnichiwa. Yes, indeed, true indeed. Oh, listen, I'm excited today. I'm excited about what's about to transpire. And listen, go ahead and right now hit that share button. Why don't we start hitting that share button right now? Let's share this feed. Let's place those emojis up. We're getting ready to start our flow. Oh, see, what that flow is going to do is just go back to the antecedent of what has been happening all week. what the one has already declared, decreed, has already established. Oh man, listen, it's happening everywhere. And I'm telling you, if you plug in to this energy today, oh, that true blue is going to clear up your vision in 2020. The clear blue. Oh, you know when blue shows up on the scene. Come on, the blue shows up on the scene, causes creativity to happen. Oh, it dropped that love on you too. Oh, watch yourself. Come on, causes balance. We're operating in balance and flow and creativity and love. And I'm telling you right now, man, listen. If you can only see, only feel and sense what's going on around you, everything that's happening is supposed to happen. Why? Because it's happening on the natural system. I'm going to get to that. And listen, let me go ahead and quickly drop some information on you. Check this timeline. And I want to say to you, we appreciate your time, your effort, your energy, your Saturdays. We don't take it for granted nor lightly. But we hold it dear to us because you could be doing something else. You could be somewhere else. Your mind could be somewhere else. Your thoughts could be in a place where they're non-productive and destructive. But guess what? You made a conscious effort to clear your vision to be here with us today, that you may get the most out of it. But not only that, to participate. Because yes, it's a dialogue, not a monologue. Oh, let me plug in here. How y'all doing out there? Give us just a second here as we get ourselves situated here as musical artists. JP, the Prince of Peace, and KD the Songbird. Go ahead and hit you with something. Yes, listen. We're talking about True Blue is clearing your vision in 2020. And we're going to talk about some things and see how everything connects and flows. And listen, I won't be before you long, all because the one got something in store for you. But I guarantee you, I'll be before you strong. Watch this. I want to bring something in and talk about how the one has been calling for the rain and calling for the rain and calling for the rain. And there's been heavy, heavy downpour. But watch this. The downpour didn't block your vision. The downpour was actually clearing your vision. It was causing you to see some things. Why? Because it was necessary for it to happen. And I'm telling you, based on what's been happening and flowing, it has created and tapped into a natural ecosystem. Yes, that's right, a natural ecosystem. So it's causing things to happen around us, and what we're doing is causing other things to happen around us, and it's just flowing. It's in a system. Oh, let's talk about this. Let's talk about this flow, this water, this flood. Let me play something here on the timeline. And listen once again, come on. Hit that share button. Feel free to donate. Listen, your donations have been a blessing. We do appreciate it. And we say with grateful gratitude, thank you. All right, let's see. And I want to go somewhere here real quickly. And again, I'm not trying to proselytize anyone, but I want to use this as a foundation, as a base to where I'm going. Safar Tehillim La Yahweh, commonly referred to as Psalms. Psalms 29 and 10. Watch what it says. And if you can see that, come on and give me those thumbs up. It says, the Almighty One, Yahweh the Almighty One, sitteth upon the flood. Yea, the Almighty One sitteth king forever. Watch this. Man, this is very powerful. So let's talk about what those words mean. Now let me give you the Hebrew definition of the word sitteth. Man, very powerful. It just ties into what the one has been talking about. And then also what he actually put out on the feed, on the timeline. Watch this. Now the word sitteth in the Hebrew is yashab. It comes from 34:27 with the Strong's Hebrew and Greek concordance. Watch what it means. It means to sit, to remain. It also means to dwell. In Arabic, it means to leap or to jump. We've been talking about quantum leap. So the Almighty One, the one connected to the Almighty One, the one riding or sitteth upon the flood. It also means to consummate, to marry. In other words, to become one with it, to solidify it with the flood. It means to make abide or to continue. It means to cause to make dwell or to ease self or to endure. It also means to establish. I'm telling you, a flow has been established. And you look out in the cosmos and you see what has been happening everywhere. It's been flowing, it's been flooding, it's been overrunning, it's been overtaking. Watch this. It also means to sit in judgment. But I like this one. To sit it means to sit down and I don't think you caught that one. To sit it means to let me back up one more time. To sitteth upon the flood, to dwell within the flood, to control the flood means to. Oh, you need to go back and check the feed this week. The Truth Session feed. The one's page. What did he put out there? See, the last time I checked, it means to quiet a thing. But because you can quiet a thing, that means you got authority over it. Oh, ever since I've known the one, he called for the rain. He called for it to flow. Even when it was not even in the forecast. But because he can forecast, he can sit and say, to quiet a thing. It also means to inhabit, to lurk, or to remain. It means to situate a thing. Oh, the one has been perfectly situating the truth session, perfectly situating his words, perfectly situating his Tai Chi sessions, perfectly situating this blue. And it's not fortuitous that we've been wearing blue for the past few weeks. People everywhere have tapped into it. They've just serendipity upon blue, started wearing blue, decreeing blue, declaring blue. Why? Because it fits into the natural ecosystem of what's happening out in the cosmos. With the flow, with the floods. It's the season for it. Nothing's fortuitous about it. Oh, watch this. So he sits, he dwells, he establishes, he endures, he eases oneself. Not only that, he abides. He abides within the flood, because it said, the one sitteth or rideth upon the flood. So if he's riding upon the flood, he's got to be dwelling in it. He's got to be abiding with it. Oh my goodness, he's got to be establishing. Listen, you can't ride upon the flood if you don't establish something. Or if you're not established in it. But I say unto you today, to sit in quiet. Watch this. In order for you to understand the flow, we've got to introduce some numbers, some mathematics. Watch what National Geographic said. To understand water, learn the math. Wow. To understand the water, learn the math. This is from National Geographic. Let me bring in this dry erase board. To sit in quiet. Sometimes quiet represents a quiet storm. Oh, you got to understand the mathematics of it. Watch this. Based on water consumption, and we're talking about flow. Now remember this, we're talking about flow. We're talking about consuming. We're talking about housing. Look at this top diagram. I'm going to go from right to left. Water consumption. So this is a map of the U.S. So the lighter you are, the less water consumption you tend to consume. Over this area in California, you got a deeper 1,001 to 2,652 gallons, mega gallons of water consumption. So throughout there is a flow. With all of this rain, it has been causing a flow. Not only consumption, it's been causing a flow. There is a flow. It's clearing up the vision. This true blue is clearing the vision. Yes, it is. It's clearing your vision in 2020. Look at this particular diagram. Watch this. Natural water supply. Rain or snow. So it's coming down. Look at the path. It's creating a path. Some of the water is withdrawn. But water that's withdrawn is not the same as water being consumed. Consumption means that it may go back up and it may not return in sublimation or evaporation. But you have water that is withdrawn, then it returns to flow. Now watch this. It reflows as a river or flows into the river. But you have to understand something. Even with oceans, water flows. Within it, And it causes a natural flow in the oceans based on river flow, based on natural phenomena, based on consumption, and also evaporation. Now, let me drop some information on you real quickly because I'm going to get back to this. In fact, let me go ahead and show you the diagram now that we have it already zoomed in so you can see it. Look at this. The water cycle. So now, this right side says the water storage in oceans. So the ocean is one huge storage container. It's a big reservoir. Then, because of evaporation, it goes up, causes condensation. Watch this. Water stored in the atmosphere. So now it's not only water stored below, it's stored above. Then precipitation happened. What has been happening all week? Precipitation. But look what happens. From here, based on maybe glaciers, some snow, ice, there's what's called groundwater discharge or infiltration. So now this water has been cycling, flooding, flowing, going into freshwater storage, into springs, into stream flow, evaporating. So what is it doing? It's a natural ecosystem. So the one is so in tune that he calls for the rain at the right time. Listen, I guarantee you, the one that's not abusing his authority and just called him for rain just because he wanted to rain. He has a natural ecosystem within him and knows exactly when to release it. So now the ocean is filled. And when it begins to overflow, it releases the water back up. And it continues to cycle. There is an overflow. I'm telling you, it's not fortuitous that we're in this season of overflow. I'm telling you, based on natural phenomena. Oh, that sound is good to my ears. Based on natural phenomena and spiritual phenomena, guess what? You about to flow. Those things that you think that you can't flow in, you're about to flow in them. Oh, look at this. Here's my flow. I'm going to get to the information, but I want to put something in your eye gates. Now, where is the earth's water? 96% of it is in the oceans. Wow. Then there's a 0.9% saline or salt solution within that flow of water. At the very top, only 2.5% of that water represents fresh water. Now, look at the freshwater supply. Glaciers, ice caps, groundwater. That's the runoff, groundwater. But wait a minute. At the top of fresh water, you get surface water, which is ground and ice, permafrost, lake water, and atmospheric water. Listen, I'm telling you, we're flowing all over the place. Groundwater, salt water, streams, ponds, oh my goodness, rivers, living things, swamps, marshes, soil moisture, atmosphere. Oh, we're causing it to flow everywhere. This true blue is clearing up vision as it flows. A flow will wash away things that are unclear. Oh, we're flowing today. My goodness. Look at this. Here's our groundwater situation, our irrigation. 60% of this pie chart. Public supply and domestic self-supply, 25%. Aquaculture, not agriculture, aqua, water, mining, industrial, livestock, thermoelectric recirculating. Thermoelectric runs through. What I'm telling you is this flow is affecting everything. It's affecting industry. It's affecting livestock. It's affecting agriculture and aquaculture. Oh, wow. Let's get to this last diagram. Where is the earth's water? One estimate of the global water distribution. Water source, the ocean supply. Watch this. 321 million cubic miles of ocean water. flowing. And capacity, volume. That's 1,338,000,000 kilometers, which is 96% of the Earth's water supply flowing. That's the ocean, seas, and bays. So our total is 332,500,000 cubic miles of flow, ocean flow. Then when the one calls it to rain, decree it, call for that rain, guess what happened? It flows right into those streams, into the oceans, into the seas, causes evaporation. It recycles itself. So guess what? It's necessary that it happens. Oh, because we have industry that use some of our water. So the different plants actually use our water in its consumption. Consumption don't replenish the water, it takes it and utilizes it. So guess what? We gotta have a flow to come back. So when it rains, it just fills up the reservoir and keep the cycle going. It's a natural ecosystem. Certain companies use water. They use water for various things. Hydroplane, for energy. So it's consumed. It's not withdrawn, it's consumed. So we got to replace it. Now, let me get to some information real quickly. Let me check this timeline before I get this information. Yes, we see Sister Cynthia Ford is in the house. Sister Stephanie, come on here. Yes. Sister Lavelle, the priestess, come on, in the house.
Monique Bannister.
Yes, Monique Bannister in the house.
Shadrin Calvin.
Shadrin Calvin in the house. Oh, Tracy Love. Windsor in the house.
Yeah, Rhonda.
Rhonda in the house.
Albie Fuller.
Albie. Oh, Latricia Freeman in the house. Come on. Yes, our very own Elder Gibbs. Last time I checked, all is well, Elder Gibbs, and it just got better. You in the house. Oh. Watch this. Y'all flowing. I can feel it. I can feel it. You're flowing with me. You're flowing. Yes, there's an overflow. Now, let me go ahead on the timeline. I am going to drop some information just so that you can see this information as it updates. Two pieces from sciencing.com. Watch this. All right, watch what it says here. Water is essential to life and appears in different forms across the globe. Fresh water, fresh or salty, partly or completely surrounded by land, long and narrow or wide and around. Watch this. Understanding the sometimes subtle and sometimes great differences between the different types of body of water can help you grasp how they all work and help to provide life as we know it on planet Earth. Now, I'm going to read a couple of these, but I'm going to drop all of the different types of water systems on the timeline. I'm almost done with you. Come on, give me those thumbs up. Come on and flood that timeline. Oh, you know I want to see that foot, that feet moving. Come on, talk to it. It's flowing. Yes, yes. Come on. Thank you. Thank you, Sister Monique, for your donation. Oh, this is consumption. This is flow. Thank you for the flow of donations. Watch this. Bodies of water, ocean. Oceans, the largest bodies of water, cover over 2/3 of the Earth's surface. Over 2/3. That's 66.6%, or 66.7%, or 66.66 what the bar is represented repeats. If it repeats, it's a rational number. It's all rational. It all makes sense. An ocean is a vast body of salt water that surrounds the continent. So the ocean surrounds the continent. Watch this. Okay. The sea is a body of salt water, partially, completely surrounded by land. So we see the ocean surrounding the continent, but we see the sea surrounded by land. Ecosystem, flow. And often connected, oh, see, there it is, often connected to the ocean. Seas are generally smaller than oceans. Watch the rivers. A river is a large flowing body of water that empties into a sea or an ocean. Oh, so you wonder why the sea flows like that. Because the ocean and the sea are connected to the lake water or the rivers. So it flows. You know, rivers flow. So now the rainwater came down and it increased the GPM, gallons per minute, the flow. It flowed into the ocean. It flowed into the sea. Oh my goodness. Look what happened. Streams, creeks, and brooks are smaller tributaries of a river. So now the water that came down created tributaries. Tributaries. The one talked about that some time ago. Tributaries. He said it's okay to branch and do a couple of things that'll help everything else to flow, but you don't stay in a tributary. It's for information purposes. Last one. You see this on the timeline. Ponds, lagoons, cove, fords, channels, and bays. All of them are connected and they flow together. Last one I want to mention, lake, is a large body of water that is surrounded on all sides by land. Watch this. So some don't understand that the one has been given this authority, this ability, this gift, this know-how, this oneness to cause it to rain. Watch this. A lake is a large body of water that is surrounded on all sides by land. Watch this. Lakes are generally larger than ponds. A pond is surrounded on all sides by land and typically smaller than a lake. Many lakes and ponds are human-made. What am I saying to you? The one can call for the rain and cause the lakes and the ponds to fill up, to flow, to increase. Can call a withdrawal and a deposit. Evaporation, a deposit, a runoff. Oh, I'm going one more place. One more place. I gotta go there. Let me place this on the timeline. I know you can hear and feel that flow. Now, all week, the one has been saying, keep the feed going. Come on, put that flow out there. Not only that, he's been admonishing the moderators to flow. Keep it flowing. Listen right now, just for 1 minute. Listen, I need you to participate. Just for 1 minute, I want everybody to put moderators for 1 minute. Capitalize the M. Type moderators. And I want you to keep hitting enter. Moderators for 1 minute. Type the word moderators and keep hitting enter. Do that for me. Come on. last idea. We're going to talk about this. Talking about a flow. Talking about a flow. Oh, watch this. I'm going to show you how important the moderators are. Look at this word, moderator. The root word and moderator is mode. The latter part of it, and as you know, O-R, I-R, or E-R represent the person. So moderator. So we got mode and rate. Moderator, mode, and rate. Watch this. Mode is in mathematics and also in statistics is the most frequently occurring in a data set. The word mode. So what has the one been telling you to do? Keep the flow going, right? Because mode represents the most in a data set. What has it been doing? Flowing. It's been raining. It's been raining the most. So now in a set of numbers, if you got a complete list of numbers, and let's just say the number 5 repeats more than any other number in the set, that's the mode. It represents that which occurs the most. So that's why you've been saying, keep the feed going. Keep it going. Keep it flowing. I was telling you to put moderator on the timeline because it created a flow. Flow represents the volume divided by the time. So we see that over time, based on the volume, we get a flow. So for 1 minute, you put moderator on the timeline. Based on its volume, you created a flow. I'm talking about true blue. Watch this. Along with mean, median, mode, mode is a statistical measure of central tendency in a data set. Unlike other measures of tendency that are unique to the data set, there may be several modes in a data set. So now I'm connected to the 1. Musical artist JP connected to the 1. KD connected to the 1. Moderators connected to the 1. We're all modes in the data set. We recur the most. We continue to occur and reoccur and reoccur. That's why we tell you to flow. Last piece, rate. The formula rate represents flow. Over time, a volumetric flow. Speed, the rate of change of a position. So now we've been seeing the rate of change over time. It comes down hard, then it slows up. Then it creates more volume, then it flows out. Then it evaporates. It's creating a flow. So we've created a flow all week. Moderators flowing all week. Timeline flowing all week in a data set. What did our big brother say? The Messiah. Lo, I come in the volume of the book. It is written of me. Listen. Flow. True blue. True blue. Oh, come on, talk to me. It's clearing your vision in 2020. Yes. You have just witnessed yours truly, the master teacher, the shapeshifter, the code breaker. Oh, coming at you in 2040 watts of power in this hour. Listen, the next voice you will hear will be that of, yes, the one, the apostle, the prophet, the cosmic commander. Come on here, the one who knows how to make it rain, who knows how to make it flow. Before I go to the nectar like KD, the nectar from KD, gratitude.
Of course, you know us, your host with the most, the one, the apostle, the prophet. That's right. Listen, we come to you all with this awesome information because you are very important. You're very important to us. Okay? All right? That we will take the time to research this information for you so that it can be accurate for you, so that you can see the developments of it. Yes, of course, it's not for everybody. But those whom it is given to shall have an ear to hear, and they shall vibrate accordingly. And they shall be able to tune in that frequency that takes you to that next space, place, and time of development, that place of all possibilities. Okay? Now, what we've been dealing with as the master teacher, listen, you all give him a black hand. Yeah. Give him a hand. Yes. Awesome, 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 awesome. So yes, we've been dealing with the blue, the vishuddha. You all know that we started out the throat chakra, and it is very powerful. So we've had to rest there. We're like the hurricane that comes and it stalls and it keeps just spinning and spitting water, gathering water and spitting water. And this is what we've been doing, because this blue is very powerful. This blue is doing some things that most people don't have an iota of what's really going on. The smooth blue, the blue is smooth. The blue does things, family. Let's look at it like this. When we look at it in a reflection of water, how many of you remember Narcissus or Narcissus? Either way you want to enunciate it. Narcissus would be the feminine element of it, and Narcissus would be the masculine element of it. But if you would recall, he caught his reflection in the water and fell in love with himself. And over a period of time, what happened was he ended up committing what? Suicide. He self-inflicted wound. He did it to himself. So what Blue is saying is that there's things that are happening to some of you all that you are afflicting them upon yourself. There are self-inflicted wounds. Okay? And a lot of that comes from trauma. You've been traumatized. Certain things have come upon you that you didn't know were happening. But then on the other hand, that blue is so smooth, what it does is it begins to purify. If you look at the blue, the hottest part of the flame, when you look at fire, is not the red or the amber part of the fire. It is the blue part. But you have to understand, when you look at the blue looks smooth. Doesn't look like anything is going on with it, but it is the hottest part. So what blue is doing for us is forging and shaping and bringing into manifestation, whether it be good or not so good. It is an indicator to indicate to you where you're at, which is why we're going to deal with the number 1. The number 1 and the number 11 are the same numbers. We're going to talk about that real quick here. But that blue flame is the hottest part. So once it begins to touch you, or you touch it, it begins a purifying process. And sometimes that process doesn't always feel good, doesn't always look good. And then it deals with our mode of character. And if you hear me, you'll hear me well. When that fire gets on you, the fire deals with your character. Whatever's in your character, when the fire gets on you, it's going to manifest that. If you're dealing with situations on the inside that are not so good, when the fire hits you, it's going to illuminate that. If you're balanced and you're doing things accordingly as they should be, it's going to manifest that. It's an indicator. Blue is an indicator. It indicates. So let me say this again. We've been dealing with water. So, and those of you that have been following us, you would have seen that we have been using the emoji or the emblem for the hurricanes. We've been causing them to spin all over the Ethernet, all through the portals, all through computers, all across the world. We've been sending this to wake up Blue. And so what happened? Here comes Sally. Sally spins up and causes a blue wall all the way from the Gulf of Mexico, all the way up Louisiana, parts of Texas, Georgia, Alabama, Florida, and headed straight to South Carolina. You know who sits in South Carolina? The One sits in South Carolina because we're calling for it. Let me show you again. We're prophetic people. We're seers. We're divine. We're empaths. We're telepaths. We have the ability to forecast. And we're not the devil. It is what we should be doing. We've been called to the cosmos, to the universe, to do a work in this season and in this time. And we're only interested And so far as it concerns us here in the truth session, what we've been called to do. Because we know that we only have a fragment. But those that understand their fragment have no problem connecting with us because it's about connectivity. Because they understand that we are building a community. We're not building people off of falsehood, lies, misconceptions, rhetoric, gossip, innuendos. This isn't what the truth session does. The truth session is where you come and your thoughts are respected and they're honored, where there is no reviling, where there is no backstabbing, where there is no bruising with words. Now, if you all go back to all of our sessions, we've said this, we incorporated this because we want this to be a platform where you can be safe to open up and receive impartations. Because that's one of the most intimate times that you're ever going to have, is when you're opening up your mental womb to have impartation. So we're careful with this blue. This is why we're calling it smooth blue. We're working with that because it's very powerful. But what we're going to do now is deal with blue, because guess what? A reference number for blue is, it is the number 11. Yeah, I know, right? You can't make this stuff up. According to www.hermetics, there was a connectivity. Blue is the number 11. Now, we're going to deal with this. Just give me just a minute here to just kind of talk to you, family. Master Teacher's already laid it out. I'm just going to get in his footprints and just and unlock some codes. All right? Now, so we're dealing with water, correct? This is what we're talking about. Now, so you have to understand, when we're dealing with water, there is going to be connectivity to the words that we're speaking, because our words are creating this. Once you understand who you are, that's why they do call me the one. That's why they refer to me in some instances as the cosmic commander, because I command things. I deal with the elements, and this is a fact. Okay? Now, so being that we're dealing with water, that water is an indicator. Blue water, agua, blue water. So now we know that it is connected to the number 11. And being and knowing that it's connected to the number 11, let's figure it out. Let's find out what's going on. Because what we know is that the number 1 through 9, or we count up to the number 9, and then the number 1 begins to repeat itself. Is that right, Master Teacher?
That's correct.
We count up all the way up 1 to 9. And then that 1 begins to do what? It begins to repeat itself. The number 10 is a 1 with a what? 0 added to it. 1 0 equals 10. So we counted all the way up to 9, and then 1 started repeating itself. Also, 1 is in what code? The binary code. Binary code. 1. Okay? So this is very important for us to understand the unlocking of these codes. Yeah. Yes, family. When this blue shows up, it causes you to be unbothered. You're focused and you're staying in the course. This is the season and time for you to stay focused and stay the course. There are many possibilities, probabilities, potentials according to your purpose. We're going to wheel because why? We're going to stay focused. And this water is a cleansing mechanism. It allows us to cleanse our mind, because what most don't know, when you drink water, water also flushes your brain. Yes. Then it flushes your body, your kidneys, your liver, causes your blood to flow better. We're over 70-some% water. Yes. So who are we talking to? Us, ourselves. We're trying to connect. So when these storms are happening, because they are a part of us, we have the ability to connect to them and give them direction. Yes, because water holds memory. Water is intelligent. And once you tap into your gifts, the authority that you have been given, then you can connect to nature, to the universe, and cause things to work accordingly. And we're here to assist you with that. We're here to assist you with your gifts. Whatever gift you may be working with, we have the ability to touch it and cause it to come online, or cause it to even function greater and better, and cause you to see with greater clarity. See, this is what this blue is doing. Now, what it's going to do is create clarity, because our eyes also secretes what? Water. We call them what? Tears. And what they found out is, through research, that in our tears are our emotions. In our tears, you can tell if we're sad. You can tell if we're happy, jubilant. It's in our tears. Why? Because water holds what? Memory. So there's nothing wrong with crying, because it's catharsis. It's a flow. And some of you need to just break on down and break on out and let the tears fall. You just let them need to fall. And create a flow. Create a flow. And create a flow. And create a flow. But you just need to let them fall. Let all the tears fall. You just need to let it go. Okay, so we're dealing with the water, correct?
Yes.
Now, and if you all notice, we always deal strongly with the Greek and the Hebrew and all kinds of languages. It isn't a language that we don't approach. Some of you just don't know who we are because we were in another realm doing work. We recently come into this realm to do work. And we haven't been met with open arms. We had to fight our way in to establish a place to be able to light up the universe. We're here to light it up. We're here to turn it up.
Yes.
Yeah. We're going to make it flow. This water flowing. And the water take the least path of resistance. But here's the thing about water. When water takes the least path of resistance, it finds that place where it can pass through. And once it passed through, then it flexes itself. Oh, you have to understand what I'm saying to you. When water gets its way, when it has made its way, come on here, through that opening, come on here, it begins to spread out. It becomes huge and large and massive into something. A river can flow all day, every day, and no one will say anything but the river is flowing. But fool around and let that river flood. Let it come up out of its banks. Come on, everybody starts talking about it. It's a flood. And this is what we're creating, a flood. And I promise you it's going to be noised abroad because water is coming. Rain is coming. Floods are coming. Hello, hurricanes are coming. Tropical storms are coming. Coming for cleansing, healing, deliverance. Oh, yeah. It's not coming to make the one feel good or make it seem like he know what he's talking about, but it is that must happen. because it has been given an assignment. And what I'm doing is giving credence to it and giving it boundaries.
Yes.
I'm giving it specific instructions, as the master teacher did as well. Yes, we're here and we ain't going nowhere. Here it is. Okay, now look at this. This is the number one. This is the number one. Can you all see that? And then I'm going to get back to the water, the blue water, in 1 second. But I just want to put this out here so we can come into the agreement with the number one. The number one comes from 259. That is the Greek and Hebrew Strong's Concordance, along with Brown, Drivers, and Briggs, and some others. But it is the Hebrew word echad. And you'll notice I'm speaking from the back of my throat to create a vibration, because it causes me to become in tune with God. Okay? Because it vibrates your pineal gland, your pituitary, your cerebrum cortex, your cerebellum, your medulla oblongata, down in your occipital area, your pons, your pyramids, all of those elements and mechanisms that are there that has to come in, your hypothalamus, your dendrites, your synapses, your neurons, your glia, all of that. Turn it on and turn your whole brain on. And then what happens is it causes to hemisync. Listen to what I'm saying. It is a real word. Hemi, H-E-M-I, and sync. Hemisync. Most of the time we're either right-brained dominant or left-brain dominant. More often than not, our brains or our hemispheres are not synced. But one of the easiest ways to sync them is when you crisscross. Yes, when you just crisscross. That's why when you see us in the arts, when you see us moving, we're doing Tai Chi moves, Kung Fu moves, Tai Chi moves, Karate moves. We're using the entire part of our minds so that we are aware, because we're syncing them by crossing. That's why if you notice when you lay in the bed, more often than not, you do what? You cross your legs. You're crossing your legs because it is syncing your mind and causing your entire mind to turn on. And when your entire mind turns on, what tends to happen is you stare out. You'll catch yourself staring out. And you'll catch it's only momentarily. Momentarily, you'll catch yourself. You'll be like, whoa, what was that about? That's because you turn all of that energy on. And it's so powerful that it'll spook you if you're unfamiliar with what is going on. So what are we doing? We're here to help you with your cognition. We're heavy in the realm of cerebral. Yes, in some circles, yes, they do. They call me the professor. When songs stop sending things to my inbox, please. Please stop. I'm sorry, fam. Sometimes you just have to tell people stop. You know we're broadcasting. Stop. S-T-O-P. Okay, now, so we're hemisyncing. So we're hemisyncing our minds, right? So that it turns the totality of it on, so that we comprehend easier. We tap in easier. We become more clairvoyant. Things become clear. So what are we doing? We're using words to wash our mind. It's symbolic for the water. So the water is going to wash our mind. So when we look at the number one, because I want to pull a term out, because Master Teacher didn't know I was going to deal with this. So he used the term ecosystem. Econ, or the number one, means ecosystem. Not only does it mean eco, but it also means the biology, the anthropology, the psychology, the physiology of humanity. The number one. It also means the ordination. It means, here you go, mathematics. He talked about, what did, one of your opening statements was that one of the magazines talked about water's mathematics. What was it?
National Geographic.
National Geographic talked about it. So here it is. Number one means mathematics. Go ahead. Master teacher, were you going to say something?
No.
Okay. It means mathematics, instructions, and it means ranking and positioning. There it is. Ranking and positioning. The number one means that you have a certain rank. Everybody doesn't have the same rank. Doesn't mean that anyone is greater than anyone else, but there is rank because there has to be order. And I'm going to get to this. There has to be order because the number one is going to always suggest and bring about order one way or the other. There's going to be order. There's going to be order. Okay? So it is the ordination. It is the ordinate number. It is the order of things. It is how things are positioned and categorized. Mathematics teach you about rankings. Mathematics shows you that there has to be ranking for things to flow. One is the beginning. Or we could put a 0 in front of it and say, well, 0 is the beginning, but we know that's only a 360-degree circle and cycle of current or currency. But we know that 1 then is the beginning of that because everything was what? 1. It was whole. We'll get to 11. But 1, everything was 1. It is whole. 1 is whole. Everything comes from 1. Well, why do you say that? Because what do? We count up to 9. And then we add a 0. Yeah, we add a 1 to the what? 0 and get what? 10. Because everything is within the 1. So then everything else testifies to the 1.
Yes.
The 0 comes back and says, yes, you the 1. The 2 comes back and says, yes, you the 1. The 2 says, you the 1. And because you're the 1 with me, we become 3. It is the perfected realm of the spirit. It is a portal that opens and allows us to travel to other dimensions. Oh, come on, talk to me. It is the spirit. It is the spirit realm. It is the spirit world. Okay? So talking about that 1. So now we find out that ecology is in that. We find out that what? Mathematics is in that. We find out physiology, meaning your makeup, is in there. Your humanity, meaning the character of who you are. So 1 brings you to character. So when you get to the number 1, it's going to begin to deal with your character. And whatever's in your character, it's going to make it manifest. That blue flame, that blue, yes, that throat chakra does what? It causes you to use this little appendage in your mouth called a tongue, right?
Yes.
The tongue is an unruly thing. It'll set on fire the whole nature of who you are. When you cannot control your tongue, come on here, that means that you have an imbalance in your vishuddha.
Yes.
Yeah. But what does the water do? The water comes to calm that down. When you drink the water flows. When something blocking you, it flows down your throat and soothes it and allow you, come on here, to speak. It lubricates it and allows you to speak. Right? So water is bringing clarity. Water is getting ready to bring healing to those that really want it if you need it. And then it's going to bring greater development to those that have a high level of development already. So when you look at that water, it's going to begin to flow. Now, let's go back to water again. Now, the hurricane center said that they have exhausted all of the names for 2020 for hurricanes. And so when they do that, they have to turn to the Greek alphabet. So in turning to the Greek alphabet, they've had, the last one was Wilford. So they had to go to the Alpha. There was Tropical Storm Alpha, and then the Tropical Storm Beta sprung up. Catch this. Now this is water. The Beta, the Beta ram. Watch this. The Beta ram deals with blue. The Beta ram has attached to it blue. Now, navy blue is the number 1. Wow. Navy blue is the number 1. Navy blue is the lowest level of the blue. Navy blue is. And then your blue is equal to the number 9. Your regular blue, it is high. The high blue is the number 9. High blue is the number 9. Look how we're bringing that in. 1 through 9. Blue. 1 through 9. We're talking about blue. When you take 1 through 9, you're going to get the color blue. All right? You're going to get to the vishuddha. You're going to get to what you say will determine what manifests, what will be created. So if you are a negative individual, you're going to create negative energy. And when that negative energy hits you, more often than not, you won't take responsibility for it. You will displace blame. But those that are in balance with the blue, with the vishuddha, when it hits them, it creates more creativity, more colorful words. Words become more productive. Words become healing words. Words become constructive words. The words begin to build, to transpose, to transform, to transmute. Oh yeah, it causes things to begin to expand because you're using the right frequency and right vibration. Yes. This is what blue is bringing online. But if there is an imbalance in you, it's going to bring out those other characteristics that may be in you, called character flaws. Yeah. Blue comes to expose your character flaws so that you can what? Deal with them. Or if there's something going on in you, it comes to reveal to you that it needs to be healed. I'll say this to you again. Healing people heal other people. Hurting people hurt other people. Yes. Hurting people live to misguide because they've been wounded and been hurt and they can't see beyond that wall of hurt. But here comes that blue wall to wash it away. Okay, fam? Quickly, let me move us in here because I know we've been here for a few minutes. I'm gonna do just a little bit here and then I'm gonna cut it here because it's important that we stay timely. But remember, I told you all something very powerful. What we discovered through research is that 1 hour of attention helps to build neurons for an experience. Yes. Hanging out with us for 1 hour is causing you to build neurons to create an experience or experiences for you because it's going to help turn on your glia. Okay? If you don't know what your glia is, look it up. Okay, now, getting back to this beta. Now, the beta brain waves, check this out. The beta brain waves are 13 to 40 hertz. 13 to 40 hertz. Now, listen to this. The beta brain waves, now this is the blue. Now, look at what's happening right currently in the universe. Look at what kind of behavior is, look at the physiology. Look at the behavior that's in the universe right now, okay? Now, beta brain waves, again, 13 to 40 hertz. Excuse me, 13 to 40 hertz, and it is associated with worry, stress, paranoia. This is the beta. This is a beta ram. Now, we talking about water. We're talking about beta, the tropical storm that spun up. We're talking about water and how all of these are linked together. And they can bring healing if you are willing to hear. Open your ear gates and your eye gates. But look at it. Again, the beta brain waves, 13 to 40 hertz, it's associated with worry, stress, paranoia, fear, irritability, moodiness, anger. What is happening in the cosmos right now? Anger. Yes, stress. Stress is at a what? All-time high. It means to what? Worry. People are worrying at a what? All-time what? High. Blue is a high color. It is the number 9. 9 is the number of judgment. 9 is a number that brings about the right kind of thought processes, that you have good sense, that you make good judgment calls. Look at all of this. So now, it also connected to weakness in your health. Oh. Wow. When you're operating in that beta ram and there's an imbalance in you, this is what you're going to have. You're going to have weakened health. And also it means weakened health in your immune system as well. It's going to attack your immune system. What's happening right now? COVID is here, right? Yes. What is COVID attacking? The what? The immune system. And if your immune system is in some way compromised, what is going to happen? You're going to be what? Infected. Yes. There's going to be an infection that gets into your what? Your anatomy, your physiology, your body, your soma, your nefesh. Okay? So now look at this. It's fully, it means fully awake and alert. The beta is working while you fully awake and alert. It also deals with nervousness, depression, and anxiety. Now you look at what's currently happening. This is why we're calling for the water for cleansing, for catharsis. We're not just playing with the elements and playing in the ether, in the etheric. We're given instructions. We're given instructions. The number 1 means what? Instructions. We're given instructions to the elements because why? We're gods. And we're supposed to be in tune. We're not supposed to be afraid when they say, oh, a hurricane is coming. We are to remain steadfast and speak to it and talk to it and ask it, why are you here? What is the destination? What is the function? What are you here to carry out? How are you supposed to carry it out? Who is supposed to be affected? All of these things is within the water, within the storms, within the hurricanes, but we're too busy fearing. We're not in tune. We're not balanced. We're not grounded. We're not grounded. We're too disposed, and that AI has been. Yes. Excuse this, family. We just had a short pause there. If you can, refresh in your browser, please. Let me catch my thought. Yes, so what am I saying? The water's coming for purging, to come to heal, to bring you to where you need to be in the next phase of what you've been called to do. Yes. And again, it is a revealer. This water reflects. And as the master teacher taught in last truth session about the angle of descent is equal to the angle of reflection. Then we talked about narcissists, the reflection in the water. If you've never read the story, read the story. There again are some of us that are self-inflicting ourselves. We deal with this in therapy when we deal with certain people in therapy. It's self-affliction. Right? Yes. Why am I saying this? Because the catharsis, it has to happen. It has to come forth. Because look at all of this. All of this is happening right now. So where are we at then in our brain? We're in the beta realm. What realm are we in? The beta realm. Study it. Yes. Understand it. Study it. Understand it. Understand what surface you hit will determine what you reflect. That angle of descent is going to hit a surface. And whatever that surface is based upon the polymers in it, whatever's in there. It's going to reflect. So if you got character flaws in there, they're going to reflect. So listen. Come on. Come on, Blue. Study it. Come on, get in it. Bathe in it. Come on, y'all, throughout the internet, throughout this week, come on, send that Blue out. Yes. And watch what happens. Watch what the universe does. The universe is going to respond to it. Watch what the universe does. It's going to respond to what we're doing, family. I want you to respond. I guarantee it. I promise you it's going to happen. Okay, so the beta realm, again, is connected to the weakened health and immune system. When you are fully awake and alert, it deals with nervousness, depression, and anxiety. And guess what? People spend most of their time in the beta state. People spend most of their time in the beta state. And also note, through research, we found that 70% of what we receive is negative energy, negative information. So when you're around a person that's negative, it's amplified, it's magnified. Yes. And it creates an environment that's toxic. So stress level goes up. Right? Yes. We have normal stress levels. Then we go to what we refer to as tolerable stress levels. And then anything beyond that is toxic stress. So we're in a state where everything is toxic. And people that are in balance will spew out toxicity. Yes. They're highly toxic. And you're going to be able to see them. They're going to be more pronounced now. Because we're revealing through the blue wall. Because we're sending out cleansing water. And as the water cleanses, it reveals. And as we send the water out, we send out also the blue flames. How many of you know that fire will burn in water? Yes. Have you all ever seen it? Fire will burn in water, and water cannot put the fire out. The fire can get so hot that the water can't put it out. Oh yeah, we not only sending the water, but we're sending the fire. The fire is in the water. Fire, 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 fire. Woo, fire. Wait a minute. Y'all know the military term. The military term said fire in the hole. Wait a minute. When something get ready to go off, when something get ready to blow up, come on here. They said fire in the hole. But I'm telling you right now, we ain't saying fire in the hole. What we saying right now, fire in the water. Oh, come on here. Fire in the water. Oh, somebody say it with me. Fire in the water. right, family. See, when you're dealing with those that are skillful in understanding the signs of the times and seasons, they're always in tune and connected to what's happening in the universe. They're not counter what the universe is doing. They're not trying to insist and command the universe to do other than what it is designed to do. When you're dealing with those that are skillful, they understand how to get in the flow. They get in the flow because in the flow is the purpose. And within the purpose is the potential, the possibilities, the probabilities are in the flow. So when you're disruptive and have no flow, then you have no possibilities. Your potential to reach your goal is off. Things are no longer probable. Now they are causal to you. There is something wrong with it because you're imbalanced. But what is the blue coming to do? To cleanse, to bring about catharsis, to open you up, to give you clear voice, to give you clear hearing, to give you clear seeing, so that you become clairvoyant. Things become clear. Yes. Checking the timeline, family. Let's check the timeline, please. Mods, timeline. Thank you. Okay, great. It was removed. Thank you. Thank you, mods. Listen, this is where y'all know where we come to. Didn't I tell y'all? What did I tell y'all? Didn't I tell you what the blue was going to do? I told you, look what popped up on the timeline. If you've seen it before, it was blocked. I told y'all what the blue is going to reveal. The blue is going to reveal who needs to be healed. The blue is going to show you people that are mentally inapt and really need to get some service. Need to go and get some therapy and get some help. Normal people, people that has proper behavior, don't do things like this. Let the blue reveal. And that's what it's doing exactly. It's revealing. It's calling you to wash you. It's calling you to hold you, to make you whole, to free you from your bondage. So let the blue rule and reign. So listen, family. As always, we've come to this space, place, and time where I say, hold what you got. Muse over it. Cogitate upon it. Ponder on it. But by all means, do what? Govern yourselves accordingly. One love, eternal life, power, peace, prosperity, and good health. Until next time. Thank you, Sister Tracy Love, for your donation. Thank everyone for your donations. Also, listen, shouts out. We want to shout out Dr. Clea in Atlanta, PH candidate. She's getting ready to go up. Yes. She's one that shares with us, Dr. Clea. She's up in Atlanta. Shout out to you. Also, shout out to Dr. She's getting ready to make a major move. She's getting ready to relocate and move into a building with her business. That's off the chain. If you hadn't gotten an opportunity to go over and look at her site, it's called Supreme Natural. Man, it is off the chain. Shout out to Dr. Tamikia Rachel Grayboy. Shout out to our very own Cedric Kersey, Conscious or Crazy. Shout out to our very own Al B. Fuller, Coffee Times, Sauce in the City, hashtags Daddies Matter Too, along with the Queen, Brenda Brown, aka the Chocolate Child. And to others, there are those that have businesses. Kafira, the master teacher, Jumpstart Your Cognition, that is very powerful and is healing people everywhere so that they can attack the fear of mathematics. It is awesome. And I'm trying to recall as I'm talking here. Monique.
Amazing Creations.
Yes, Amazing Creations. Monique Bannister. Yes, Alchemical. Anybody else? If you have it, put it on the timeline. If you have businesses, please. LaVale, my daughter. Yes, she does counseling. She's a coach. Yes, LaVale, the priestess. Yes. Umoja. Yeah, that water. Yeah, the water's in the house all on the timeline. But this water is a revealer. And also remember one thing that water will do too. If you play around with water, and if you can't swim, you seasick water bound. May go under and drown. So please be advised. Make sure you have a flotation device. Now, this has been the one. And we're navigating through these troubled seas because we understand what's in them. All right? Just remember, I I love you. Hater, I love you too. Those that seek to bring injury and harm, I love you too. Because you can't make me stop loving you. I'm vibing, and I have a love language, and you're not going to make me stop using it. I love you. I love you. I love you. And I love you too. And I love you. 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 I love you too. Because love is an expression of the fact that you've had appropriate experiences that gives you the ability to use it correctly. So with correct measures, I say unto you, I love you. And at the next appointed time, I shall love you. And I shall be with you even until the end. For I am the one. Until next session, family. Shalom alaikum.